Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for all of you joining this session today. Welcome to the Getting Started with Bing Ads Jumpstart. My name is Alan Emro. I'm here with my colleague Bethany Bay, and we're very, very excited to be part of this session. We're very excited to take you through all of the different fundamentals and optimization tips around utilizing Bing Ads. So getting started, I will begin with myself. My name is Alan Emro, like I said. I am the Associate Director for the Digital Marketing Team at Cardinal Path. We are actually not from Microsoft. The two of us come from a company called Cardinal Path. This is a web analytics consultancy firm. We focus on all aspects of website traffic for all of our clients. We are a very large Microsoft training partner. We love talking about all of the different training aspects to search engine marketing, web analytics, and things like that. I myself actually spent about 5 years with Microsoft. It is very nice to be back in the Redmond campus, and we're very looking forward to being here and talking through all of these different aspects of this tool with you. That being said, I'm very happy to introduce Bethany Bay. She's a colleague of mine out of our Chicago office for Cardinal Path. Good to see you, Bethany.
Oh, thanks, Alan. And I'll introduce myself really quick. So as Alan said, my name's Bethany, and I am a digital marketing consultant at Cardinal Path. So on a daily basis, I am managing client accounts in Bing Ads and other platforms. And then other than client accounts, I'm also a trainer for our Cardinal Path Training Academy program. So I travel about once or twice a month across the United States and Canada, teaching people hands-on in live events how to work with Bing Ads and other platforms.
Perfect. All right. Well, today is all about getting started with Bing Ads. We have several key areas that we're going to be focusing on throughout this complete session. I'm going to start things off very easy with an introduction to the Bing Ads platform. We're going to talk about some of the fundamentals around the Yahoo Bing network, fundamentals around how the basis of utilizing a search engine marketing platform works, some of the fundamentals around basically all of the targeting capabilities, optimization on the platform. Then I'll turn it over to Bethany, where we will really let the rubber meet the road. We'll talk about how you actually get started with an account itself, all of the ways that we set this up. And then we'll get into some of the more advanced features. I realize that there are going to be a lot of folks involved in this session, dialing in from all over the place. We're very excited about that. And we want to make sure that we cover a good degree of breadth, but also get deep into how you can really maximize performance on this network. And then finally, again, in terms of optimization, in terms of driving efficiencies on the platform, we want to showcase some of the tools like the Bing Ads Editor. We will probably talk about some of the other fundamental tools. There's an Excel plugin called the Bing Ads Intelligence tool. We want to make sure that folks are very familiar with all of these things. In terms of setting expectations and who this session is really geared for, again, we're going to start from the beginning. We're going to go through looking at all aspects of the Bing Ads platform for the absolute beginner. We want to talk about very basic fundamentals like how do I utilize keyword bidding to show my advertisements to users searching within Bing. But then we want to make sure that folks that are already utilizing Bing Ads are getting a bit of a refresher course, that if there are things that or features that they are not aware of. There's been a lot of changes within the Bing Ads platform. I actually started in 2006 with MSN Search. This began, that's exactly around the time that Microsoft Ad Center was rolling out, the very origins of the Bing Ads platform. And there's been a lot of changes. There is a lot of really exciting new features and functionality that we can go through. We've got a lot of different support materials, and I know that everyone will have access to these. There are a number of different support channels that you can go through to learn more about the tool itself. There are getting started resources. If you're so inclined at the end of going through this jumpstart, you may wish to take the Bing Ads accreditation exam. We are going to cover a lot. The best news about the way this session goes is that we geared this around ensuring that people are very familiar with all of the different key aspects to what is on that exam. So I would absolutely encourage people to go through and actually look to take that test after this. We've got information for the support channel for Bing Ads. There's email addresses and phone numbers here. Please take advantage of all of the key areas and support channels that you can. And then I want to make sure everybody is familiar with this particular slide. We want to point out that you can receive up to 50 MVA points for the Virtual Academy program if you utilize the Bing Ads code. This is going to expire in about a month, so make sure you write this down and go ahead and use this to your advantage. All right, without further ado, I'm going to get started with an introduction. Again, this very first module is all centered around making sure that people are familiar with some of the basic concepts of search engine marketing. We're going to talk a lot about just the fundamentals around why we utilize Bing Ads, why we utilize Bing first and foremost, the size of the marketplace, and why that's very important to us. So, I know this is a bit of an overview. For some of you, this might be very new, very elementary, but we want to talk about the key differentiators, or really the value proposition behind the Bing Ads platform and the Bing search engine itself. We want to talk about things like targeting, which is extremely important. How do we utilize keywords and keyword bids, and why is this so important to us? And you're going to hear us say this a lot today, but one of the fundamental concepts that we always talk about, Bethany and I do a lot of talking about search engine marketing itself through some of the seminars that Bethany was talking about. One of the key elements that we always hone in on is relevancy. We realize that you've got a lot of users searching through the Bing search engine. We're trying to attract them to different advertisers' actual ads on the page. And so it comes down to really cueing in on a very relevant advertisement that captures someone's attention, that we're able to then, ensure that we get them to go and go ahead and click on our particular advertisement. I'll talk briefly about optimization. Please realize that in the later modules, we will be cueing in on a lot of other more in-depth optimization techniques, and then we'll kind of recap this before we move on. We'll take a quick break before we go into a lot of these other modules. All right, let's get started with why Bing Ads. I want to speak a little bit about the actual reach of the engine, about the reach when it comes to driving users to your advertisements, because at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. This is probably not new to a lot of you. Bing is the search platform for Microsoft. There are users on their desktop machines, on their mobile devices, on their tablet devices, and the essence of utilizing Bing is really about getting your answers to your questions, making sure that we're able to satisfy somebody's search query. And so to that effect, Bing really strives to ensure that we're providing really good, well-indexed answers to, again, all of the potential type of information that folks are looking for online. And that being said, when it comes to the Bing Ads platform, I really like to boil it down to a few key points. Obviously, we have a lot of folks going through and searching on Bing.com. What we want to be able to do is we want to be able to advertise to those folks. Now, to me, the key differentiators behind the Bing Ads platform is, yes, it is very easy to sign up for the tool. It's you've got a number of different budgeting options and customer targeting, and all of that is great. But what it really comes down to me, and I know Bethany will key in on some of these points as well, first and foremost is really about diversification. There are a lot of really great reasons why you're going to want to utilize the Bing Ads platform to, again, extend your marketing efforts. There are so many ways to spend your money online, and there's so many different third-party tools. There's so many different advertising platforms out there. With Bing Ads, there is tremendous value, and we want to make sure that you're very well versed in how you can go ahead and extend your marketing reach through this very, very extensive channel. The second piece is really around the tools that Bing Ads allows and gives you access to. Bethany will key in on things like ad extensions. We'll talk a little bit more about the Bing Ads Editor, which is a really great tool for driving efficiency, setting up campaigns, driving optimization suggestions. All of these kinds of things are at your fingertips when you're utilizing this platform. And we want to make sure that everyone's very comfortable with the fact that it's not just about setting up keyword bids and hoping that we attract a certain search volume. We want to make sure that we know what are all of the ways that we can drive improved relevancy, that we can ensure that, as folks are searching for, going about their day and searching for answers to questions, that we're able to provide them a very, very relevant solution for potential customers through our actual advertisements. And that really comes down to relevancy, and it really comes down to the tools that we use in the platform. The third piece is about control. We don't harp on this enough. Bing Ads really enables advertisers to take a very large degree of control in how they set up their campaigns. There are immense targeting capabilities. There are a number of different ways you can specifically target and key in on a very, very specific audience group. And we'll get into all of the ways that will make your head spin to, again, attract a very, very relevant audience and a very specific targeted customer. And the final piece is about value. Now, we're coming from Cardinal Path. We work with a lot of different clients of our own. We utilize Bing Ads for all of our clients. We've seen tremendous value, and I don't want to take too much away from what Bethany will be talking about later, but when it comes to return on investment, when it comes to things like cost per click, which we will get into later, Bethany, is it safe to say that we see absolutely great return? We see lower cost per clicks. By and large, we see very high ROI.
Yes, return is very excellent when I'm using Bing Ads for any type of client too. So whether it's B2B, B2C, lead gen, e-com, running on Bing Ads is a must for any SEM strategy that I'm using for a client.
Yeah, absolutely. And we feel really strong saying that. We do a lot of quarterly business reviews with clients, and we love to show a lot of the results and how Bing Ads really drives so much value. So, without further ado, let me get into a bit more of the nitty-gritty. I keep saying the word Bing, and we're going to talk about Bing.com all day today, but it's not so much about Bing. In my own experience with Microsoft, I was working here through the Search Alliance migration. So basically, when we moved from Ad Center and we moved from the idea of live search over to the rebranding of the search engine as Bing.com, and with that came a partnership with Yahoo. The great thing about this for all of us as marketers, as consumers, is the network is extremely extensive now. And so you've got what we call the Yahoo Bing network. It's comprised of 2 core search sites. And this is very, very fundamental. When, as advertisers, we're setting up our particular ads to run through the Bing Ads kind of interface, we want to make sure that everybody knows that your ads will show up across Bing searches and Yahoo searches. And then there are a number of different partner sites that we utilize through the content network. And we'll talk more about that when Bethany gets into a lot of the fundamentals and getting things off the ground. But folks are interested in showing up on Facebook, on Monster, sites like CNBC. All of this is possible through utilizing the content network, through utilizing the Yahoo Bing network, and it's very extensive. So we'll talk a lot about essentially how we ensure that we're showing up across all these properties. I promise you, it's very simple to do, and we'll get into more of that. Bethany, yes?
Yes, very simple.
Just making sure. I didn't read ahead, so I want to make sure that's true. When we look at just some of the core components of the Yahoo Bing network, numbers look wonderful. We want to point out these are U.S. statistics. First of all, 158 million unique searchers, massive. There are about 5.5 billion monthly searches happening. The search share hovers right around 30% now. So this is a very, very substantial. Again, like I said before, if we want to diversify, if we want to expand our advertising reach to other folks, this is a fantastic place to do it. Diversify, show immense value. The last box on here is really about the fact, if I can't say it any better, than people spend a lot of money when they're utilizing Bing. So the average searcher on the Bing network spending more money than the average internet user, and a lot of times spending more than they do when they're searching via Google. So that's a really key point to look at. We talk to a lot of e-commerce. We talk to a lot of retail clients, and they see, again, tremendous value through the network. Okay, that's a lot of talking. How does this actually work? Well, we already said that we know that there's 158 million users looking at the Bing channel monthly, and we want to make sure that we highlight the fact that Bing Ads sits right in the middle between us as advertisers trying to attract new users and the consumers or the searchers that are using Bing.com and looking for whether it's they're looking for products to buy, they're looking for services, whatever that is. Bing Ads is the middleman here. And what Bing Ads really does is it enables, we know that folks are searching. We as advertisers are going to utilize keywords or essentially try to key in on the intent of what folks are looking for online. And we're going to make sure that as we kind of look at the different intent or whatever those folks are searching for, that we show a relevant advertisement so that folks will go ahead and click on our ad and be delivered to a particular website. We started to talk about the kind of extensive reach of the Bing Ads marketplace. Right now, available in 33 countries. I can tell you when I started with Microsoft in 2006, essentially the Bing Ads platform was available in 4 countries. And so this is a massive growth. Like I said, they're available in 33 countries now. If you want to get very broad exposure, if you want to show advertising across the world, you can do that. 15 additional countries rolling out. I would absolutely take a look, perform a quick Bing search, look and see what additional countries this is rolling out to and how that might inform your strategy going forward. Okay, this is going to be a very 100-mile-an-hour view of the basics of search advertising. Today is, again, we're covering a lot of breadth. We are covering a particular degree of depth. We want to make sure that folks are very well armed to go through a lot of these concepts. But really briefly, let me talk about search advertising campaigns, how they fundamentally come together, if I may do that, Bethany, if I can get that. So, targeting strategies, there are so many different ways that we can target. Again, Bethany and I talk a lot about search engine marketing when it comes to targeting strategies and how you can key in on a user sitting in a particular zip code within the US or a particular postal code in whatever other country you're looking at, to a particular time of day and day of the week. There are immense ways to dissect this. And again, I feel like it's very easy to get overloaded to the idea that there are so many ways to target. How do I get started? It all comes down to where is your relevant traffic? Where is your relevant customer or consumer or person you're trying to attract? And just keying in on how do we make sure that our ads are present to that person. And so there's so many ways to slice and dice this, but please relax to the idea that we absolutely will only take those sorts of actions if it's necessary. We'll talk a little bit about keywords and bids and optimization. So, how does search advertising work in one slide? Well, this is great to try and boil this down, but essentially what we're going to be doing is you're going to be writing ad copy. And what I mean by that is, just imagine, go ahead and do any Bing search and look at the results. You're going to see a number of different organic and paid results show up across the top and bottom of the page as folks perform a search query. The ads that we're writing are going to show up in these paid search results. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when you go to Bing.com and you perform a search query, there's a certain amount of real estate, if you will. There's a certain amount of space available for all of these search results. These are very small. These are not big, beautiful billboards. These are small text advertisements. You've got very few characters of text to attract a user's attention, and we want to talk about all the ways that we do that. But what we're going to do is we're going to write really compelling ad copy in just a few short characters. We're going to bid on all of these different keywords, or really we're going to try and anticipate what is the search query that someone's likely to perform. And our bids are going to determine where on the page, where in the results our actual ads show up. And the end result is somebody clicks on our ad, they will be taken to whatever website we want them to go to, where we can show them the lovely products or services or whatever it is that we are trying to drive them towards. Got it? That's it? I think we can call it a day. Everybody gets that? Okay. In terms of as advertisers, how do we go through this? Well, the first piece is really around, again, creating compelling ads. And I can't stop saying the word relevancy, but it all comes down to we've got very little time to grab someone's attention as they go through their busy day and searching. And so we want compelling ad copy that grabs that user's attention. So that's fundamental. Next, we need to go about the idea of targeting. Where are these folks located? Across what types of devices? What time of day are they searching for our products and services? We've got folks from all over the world right now dialed into this. We have a lot of different things that we got to keep in mind. And then we got to bid on keywords. We'll talk a lot about the interchangeability between keywords and search queries. And finally, optimization. Bethany, would you say a lot of our job as marketers is not so much just about setting this up, but optimization?
Oh, the majority of it. I mean, it'll take, a couple weeks to set up an account, a couple campaigns, but then you're spending however long you're managing it, years optimizing it. So it's not just a set it and forget it. You definitely have to make sure that you're maintaining an eye on it. I mean, I'm in my accounts every day, just making sure that things are running as they should be, making changes.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And we have plenty to talk about with optimization. Again, it's all about fine-tuning that traffic, fine-tuning the users that are coming through, and making sure at the end of the day we get more of them. Targeting strategies, there are a lot that we'll key in on. Some of the really important ones: geographic location, pinpointing by radius, by zip code, like I said before, like by specific country, by specific city. You can get extremely detailed in who you're after. Day of the week, time of the day. I think it's pretty safe to say that we're interested, imagine, we'll take everybody here through a few key examples, but imagine shop owners that are only open during your kind of typical business hours. We want to show advertisements to their target customers during those hours. Other search traffic might be worth more to us at different times of the day, different days of the week. We can target by age and gender. We can target by device. A lot of us are making the conversion over to tablets. A lot of us are constantly on our mobile devices. I know that I too am a perpetrator of that, getting onto the bus in the morning and just sitting on my mobile phone. I was on the bus 3 days ago, and I look up and everybody's on their mobile device and everybody is searching. Think about the power of being able to show ads to your local business, being able to capture folks as they are, again, searching and interacting online throughout the day across any device. It's extremely important to us. And finally, operating system. This is my overwhelming slide of there's so much that you can target. There's so many different ways that we can segment our audience. I don't want this to be overwhelming, but again, it's all about relevancy. If we know that males between the age of 25 and 34 are spending more money on our particular products and services on Mondays between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., we can go ahead and we can target those people a certain way. The whole idea is that we show our ad to that particular targeted person. They're more likely to click, they're more likely to purchase or inquire or sign up for a test drive or whatever it is that we do. That's really important to us. I want to say this because I think for Bethany and I, it's very easy to overlook the fact that we use these two terms quite interchangeably. When you think about somebody on Bing Ads performing a search, they are going through the idea of performing a search query. You know, typing in what is the conversion of 1 liter to gallons, which I do all the time because I live in Canada now. And when we think about how we actually advertise to folks, we're keying in on what is the thing they're searching for, but we do that via what we call keywords. So a keyword is kind of our anticipation of what that search query is. We start to just bid on what people are searching for. And the whole idea is that that keyword, that search that they perform, drives our advertisement. The last couple things I want to point out is when we think about that, keying in on the right keywords and setting these bids is, there's so, I'm going to keep saying that this is the most important thing or that is the most important thing of the day, and I will consistently contradict myself because I think that absolutely all of it is important. But when we think about identifying the right keywords, that comes down to what is my target audience really looking for? What are they interested in? When they perform, you know, if I'm looking to buy dog food online, am I actually searching? Are my customers looking for those particular types of terms? Are they looking for a particular brand name? Are they looking for a particular type of food for a certain pet? All this kind of stuff. We want to go ahead and go after that traffic. We want to go after what we think our target customers are searching for. We have to kind of predict that sort of thing. I promise that we are going to go through some tools that make this easier, but there's a lot of work involved in doing this. And finally, it's about being competitive. How do we set bid prices? How do we make sure that we are competitive in the actual marketplace itself, so to speak? There's a lot. We're not the only advertisers out there looking to attract users to our website. We want to make sure that our bid prices are competitive and that we are showing up on that search engine results page in a very prominent position. The last thing I'm going to leave you with before we take a quick break is that of optimization. Optimization is all about, well, it's about exactly what we're looking to do. Are we trying to increase conversion by driving more traffic to the site? We are going to utilize all of the different Bing Ads reports to look at what's converting well, where do we see uptake in traffic, where do we see a lot of impression volume, how do we get more of that? I think we can all say that we're probably interested in driving more when it comes to more sales, more conversions, more traffic to our site. And there's so many ways that we do that. Again, this really is geared towards showing some of the ways that as marketers we adjust and we optimize. And again, I promise you we're going to go through a lot more of this in detail. But it comes down to how relevant is our advertisement. It comes down to fine-tuning our targeting. Maybe we realize that we want to open up our actual targeting to folks in Canada if we're just targeting to the US or other countries. Adjusting our actual keyword selection. And I really am looking forward to Bethany talking a lot about all the ways that we can just utilize keywords to establish a more refined user or searcher. So from this, there are a few key elements that I want to point out. Yahoo Bing Network, we can reach a very large targeted group that spend more money than the average searcher, very high quality. We're going to be building really relevant keyword sets. We need to establish really great targeting that makes sure that we are keying in on the right group of people. And then we're going to go through the process of optimization. In the coming modules, that's what we're going to talk about much more extensively. At this point, we're going to take a 10-minute break, and we'll be back where Bethany is going to come in and really talk about where the rubber meets the road and how we set all this up and how we set things off on the right foot. So we'll see you in 10 minutes.